So here we are, and we have imported the footage, and now we want to start editing work. Before that, let me just talk to you about the interface a little bit. In this interface you will find different tabs. Okay, so we have the tools tab here. Okay, this is like cutting tool. You want to cut a video or you want to select a video, like that. This is basically your timeline, which shows the footage that you keep importing, and which is basically your final movie. And here we have this program tab, which basically shows your final video. So whatever you do here, it will keep showing me my final video here. Okay, here is the project window. So whatever files you import here, they will come here, and you can also go to the tab which is called effects, and here you can just expand all these to see and try different effects. Okay, and then whatever effect you apply, and if you select a particular video, you can change those effects in this effect controls window. There are times when you can come into problems, like let's say you click and drag something and you realize, oh, I have made a mistake, I have put a drag here, right? This may happen from time to time for beginners. So what happens is you can actually drag and drop any window anywhere in Premiere Pro. Okay, so I can drag my tool window here, I can drag it at the top and stuff like that. Okay, so this is basically to give more flexibility to the users, because a different user may find different kind of arrangement best suited for him. So don't get overwhelmed by that. This is just for your own flexibility. But let's say if you make a mistake and you may not show, you are not sure how to put it back, I would say you can select different kind of workspaces. Okay, so if you go to Window, Workspace, and select a workspace which suits you best, you can just click on that. Okay, so right now I can click on color correction, and it will basically take me to a different kind of workspace. Okay, if I go back to my editing, it will take me back to my editing workspace. Okay, so it all depends on what you need and what you find suitable. Now if you see, my tools window is there because I dragged it there. I can drag it back and put it here. Okay, now I see that it is on the right side. I will just leave it there, and now it comes here. Okay, now it is just a matter of dragging so that I can just push it all the way to the right. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the interface that we have. Now let's start to edit our video. Okay, so in this video I have a lot of things going on, but I would just want I only want a time-lapse video of my footage, so I want to just zoom into that part. So when you start to import your videos and you start to drag them here, you will quickly see that you will have to navigate through a long timeline. Okay, so if it becomes too long or too small, you can use this particular slider to zoom in and zoom out of your videos. Okay, this is very efficient, and you should make use of this as much as you can. So I'll delete these videos for a while, and I will zoom in to my video, and I realize that I only want this part. I do not really want the initial part at all. Okay, so let's say I only want the initial part of this timeless lapse sky. So I will choose this razor tool, click here, and as you can see, it basically cuts my video into two halves. Okay, so I will just drag all the way and come here, and I will just click here again, and now I can go to the selection tool, click here, and hit backspace. So now my video that I do not require is gone, and I will again drag, and I think I will just want it up to here. Select razor tool, click, select selection tool, click, and hit backspace. So now I only have the footage that I really require, and if I want to just man this gap, I will just drag it so I can bring it here, or I can just click right click here and hit ripple delete, which basically mans all the gap. Okay, so that's about the razor tool and selection tool, which is the most used tool that you will require to make a movie. Okay, now if I hit play, okay, so that's a nice time lapse that we have of the bits tower. And let us say that I do not really want this music. Okay, more often than not, you may need to require to remove the music from your videos. So what I will do here is I will just click on the particular video, right click and click on this particular button called unlink. As soon as I hit unlink, what happens is if you see this particular part, this video was linked. Okay, so if I click on it, it selects the video layer and the audio layer. Okay, but now if I choose this one, it selects them separately, which means now they are completely different. I can just click on the audio and hit backspace, and now if I hit play, my audio is gone. Okay, so that's a very quick way to remove a particular audio or a particular video from your footage. I will click on undo because I want to keep that audio for now. Also, if you want to import a lot of footage and you want to import them in different layers, just like in Photoshop, you can actually click and drag videos and they will be imported in separate layers. Remember, if you are importing footage like that, the topmost layer is the one that will be visible. If you want to remove the visibility of this, you can just hit this eye and it will be invisible. Okay, so that's about layers, and you can also add a lot of layers just by hitting right click and add tracks. So now you can add one video track, one audio track, and whatever you require. So you can explore this a little more, but it is pretty straightforward. The topmost layer is the visible layer, the layer below is not visible. That's about layers and razor tool. Let's say you want to decrease the opacity of a certain thing. So I will hit delete for this one for now. I just want to make a simple fade in and fade out. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit, and I will just work on, okay, they are still unlinked. What I can do is I can just select both of them and right click and hit link. Okay, so now they are linked back. Okay, so I want to go to the effect controls for now. Okay, and what I see here is if I select the video and if I go to motion, what I can do is I can reposition this video. Okay, Control Z. I can scale this video, Control Z. I can rotate, I can go to opacity, and I can increase and decrease the opacity also. Okay, so all these things are basically animatable, which means you can actually animate all these values to your choice. So if I want to animate this position, what I can do is I can go to the place from where I want to animate this. You see this little alarm clock. That basically means you can toggle animation, you can turn animation on and off. So if I hit on that, it basically creates this particular diamond, which means I have added a keyframe here, right? So this particular value is locked here. Now if I go to a second later and I move the position, what you can see is there are two values that are locked at different positions, right? So what I've done here is I have locked the position of this video, which was 640, and I then moved to a later part and I moved it around 1000, right? So that basically animates my video. Okay, so it all depends on what you need. I will Control Z this part, and if you want to remove the animation, you can just click on this toggle animation button again, and it basically gives you a warning that do you want to really take away all the existing keyframes, and you can say yes, I want to take them away, and now they're gone. Okay, the opacity thing is automatically turned on by itself, which means if you go to a later place and you decrease the opacity, it will basically decrease the opacity by itself. Okay, so what I need is I will press Ctrl Z, I will add a keyframe here, and I will just decrease the opacity all the way. Then I go to a later part and I increase it to 100%, and what it will do is it will create a nice fade in effect for me. Okay, so as you can see, I can quickly create some simple animations, like I can animate the opacity, I can animate the scale, rotation, so you can explore all these parts in detail and create some nice videos from there. Okay, now let's say if I want to add some effect to this particular footage, I can go to this effects tab and I can explore this video effects panel. Okay, now there are a lot of effects, and I would say you just explore all of them by yourself. I will just tell you how to use them. So let's say you want to change some kind of color or brightness or contrast. So you can just click on a particular effect and you can drag it to your footage. And now if I just close this particular part and see this brightness and contrast, as you can see, I can actually change these sliders. I can use these sliders to increase the brightness and contrast of my video. I can add some more contrast and stuff like that. So you can play with these settings. Try not to overuse any effects. They may look bad. Just use some good references and you will be good to go. Okay. I may want to change the color. I can use some channel mixer and I can expand the channel mixer here and probably gives it some kind of some yellowish tint or something. It depends. Okay, so try to be mindful that you do not overdo any effect, but play with these. There are some very good things there, and hopefully you can make some good use of those effects. Okay, that is basically all about simple tools that you require to create video editing. So you require these tools panel, you require this effects panel, and you can animate by toggling animation on and off, and you can use some effects from effects tab and start just dragging them and dropping on your footage and then editing them back in your effect controls. Okay, so that's about some basic video editing. In the coming lecture we will talk about adding some titles or some text to your footage.